Okay, there we go. So hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday night webinar. It's awesome to see you guys. I am going to put it on focus here. So hopefully you guys can see me. All right. So hopefully everyone can see and hear me okay. If you guys can't, or if it gets a little too noisy, let me know. There's some loud voices coming in here. So I'm gonna do my best to chat for a little bit before I maybe go hide in another area to go do the meditation part. So welcome tonight, you guys. It's awesome to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a really, I was like kind of getting excited about doing tonight's meditation because I'm going to do a version of something that we call the Blue Mist meditation, which is a meditation that comes from William Whitecloud, and Chris Duncan's done it as well, where we sort of transpose ourselves into blue mist, and the blue is a beautiful way to be able to transmute ourselves and utilize the energy for manifestation. It's kind of like a color that most meditative coaches end up using. Hey, Nikki, welcome. Awesome to see you. So I'm apologizing for a little bit of background noise tonight. I'm multitasking with my daughter, so doing my best to be in two places at once and hopefully have enough sound bites that you guys can hear me okay and it's not too frustrating. If it does get to be that way, definitely let me know. I was saying I'll probably go hide in my car to do the meditation part just because it'll probably get noisy around then. But for now, I have a wonderful well-lit room that you guys can actually see me in. I looked like a phantom in my car. So it's funny, the things that we do. I was so excited to do this meditation tonight because it's been quite a last couple of weeks. It's been, oh, awesome, Greek Festival. Oh, you're so dedicated. I'm so excited that you're here. Thanks for tuning in. I think you'll enjoy tonight. And I do really appreciate you guys being here in the bathroom hiding. That's funny. I'm in a back room of a canteen at a rink. It's hilarious. The things we do.
Right? Your daughter?
Yeah, actually, she'll probably be popping through here, so I'll make sure she pops in and says hello. Yeah, that's awesome.
Only if she wants to, no pressure.
Oh yeah. No, she'll totally.
Is she the oldest one or the younger one?
She is the oldest one. Yes.
Oh, she's the oldest one.
The oldest one. My youngest one is at home tonight by herself. So, yeah. I literally run almost every night during the week, so it's pretty crazy. But usually my hubby helps me out Friday nights. He just wasn't around tonight, so I get to do double duty. And then right after this, I get to actually go watch her hop on the ice. So it works out perfectly. They're just doing a dry land for the next hour, so I don't really have to be paying attention to anything except for this. So I'm stoked. This has been quite a time. Hey, like the last couple of weeks have been very emotional for a lot of people. They've been very intense. They've been bringing up some stuff. And one of the really cool things about right now is that this transition, this energy portal with the retrogrades that we have, especially Mars in retrograde, with the total lunar eclipse happening on the full moon. Well, it always happens on the full moon, but all of these energies together, the last time this happened was 18 years ago, and then 18 years before that, and 18 years before that. So this is like those things that we adopted, these beliefs that we have adopted, these events that happened. And I want you to think back to 2004, in the fall of 2004, because this is the time that the portal sort of opened and we developed, we had this opportunity, we had this thing happen in our lives. It was an opportunity back then, 18 years ago, and it's likely coming up again, or it's coming to fruition again, or it's revealing itself again in this 18-year pattern. And I'll be honest, this is just wild, because this town that we're in just so happens to be the town that I lived in with my mom before she passed away. And we just finished driving past the house that, I mean, basically 18 years ago. And I wasn't going to share this, but as I passed the house, I went, oh my goodness, because 18 years ago, I hung this eagle, this wrought iron eagle on the house, and she died in the driveway. And the people that bought the house, my stepdad ended up selling it, and we had to leave everything like really quickly. So this wrought iron eagle was still up on the garage, basically looking over where she would have passed away. And I remember putting this up with her 18 years ago, and the people still have it on the garage. Like, it's the weirdest thing. And so I haven't driven past this house in forever, but 18 years ago exactly was when I had this epiphany that I needed to take care of myself. I needed to make some major decisions. I needed to be hard. I needed to basically say, you know what, I have to honor my feelings. And this is when she passed away. And I think I've shared with you guys, she wound up taking her own life. And a lot of it had to do with this, this upheaval that we had, because we'd always been so close. So I look at 18 years, and literally for 18 years, I was frozen. It took almost 18 years to kind of snap out of this frozen trauma state. And so for me, this is profound, and it's huge. That, like, 18 years, right? Hey, Sabrina. Hello.
I will mute my microphone.
Thanks, if you guys don't mind. That's awesome. Just throw yourself on mute. Oh, I've got two Sabrinas in the house all at once. This is awesome. So, like, literally 18 years ago was when I made this decision to, honor myself. I was like right into my Reiki, my energy work. I was like going forward with all these huge things about healing, really honoring myself, making these decisions. And then boom, this happened. So 18 years. No worries. It's great to see you guys. It's awesome. So I'm just talking about the eclipse, and this last time that this happened in such a way with all the retrogrades, especially Mars, all these retrogrades. Mars hasn't been in retrograde for 2 years, and all of a sudden it's sneaking back in there. But the patterns of 18 years ago, because 18 years ago was the last time this exact portal happened, and it opened to allow us to really see our true potential, our true soul's journey, the things that we really wanted to do. We were kind of setting forward on a path, and we made a decision about 18 years ago in this season, likely around the full moon, because we were ready to let things go. We were ready to not be controlled by things. We were ready to make our own path and really follow our truth. And we get this opportunity again 18 years later to perhaps make the same decision, perhaps make a different decision, but it's throwing this stuff back up right now for us to be able to look at. So I want you guys to think back to 2004 and where you were, what kind of decisions you were making, were you on a really good path? Did you make some good decisions, or did you have huge upheavals and changes at that time? Was it some major stuff going on? For some of us, we may not exactly remember, but I love looking back in journals and stuff just to see what was going on, because we're about to learn some pretty crazy lessons. And this little portal we have until Tuesday, this eclipse portal, is here to kind of almost chaotically throw some of this stuff in our face to see if we're going to make the same decisions, if we've learned lessons, if we want to continue repeating patterns, if we want to continue staying stuck, we absolutely can. But if we're ready to really shift out of feeling stuck, this is a time that we can actually really shift things. Cosmically, things are lined up to help us see these things that we're truly ready to let go. It's like this contractionary state, this almost, I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, but feeling so tired and feeling like kind of just hiding out and not talking to anybody. And it's like, you know, you sort of should be out there. That masculine energy is screaming at you to get out there and do all the things. And you got to, you know, bust your butt and make things happen. But really what we need to do this week is kind of retreat a little bit, let this work do its magic, let these retrogrades bring up what they need to bring up, have good cries, do some self-care, spend some time, you know, having a little nap if you need. There's a lot of viruses going around right now that are just kind of hammering people. So they're having to stay put, so that they're having to kind of settle down and just, we're so busy manifesting all the time when we can really stop and allow this, all this manifestation work to be in receiving mode, to be happy, to be feeling good, to be doing the things that we really want to do, the things that make us feel good, the things we feel like doing. A lot of nature right now, like really connecting to nature, getting out for a little walk, just noticing the deer if you get to see something like that, or noticing the eagles, or noticing the birds that are coming around, noticing beautiful nature changing, going into this next season. It's a really amazing time to be able to revisit some of these old patterns that we're really like, there's been a lot of people just feeling like, I'm really ready to let this go. I thought I had let it go. So it's coming up right now in this little portal here to be able to be let go. And it's also cool because hormonally, when I'm talking with people, they're like, I don't know what's going on. And it's interesting because Christiana, we had this conversation today. There's been a lot of people, even myself, noticing my kids, everybody, they're like, I just put deodorant on. Like, how do I stink? I just got out of the shower. Why am I smelling? Like, it's interesting. They're noticing that there's these really sort of massive things trying to be released from the body right now. Now, a full moon will do that anyways. Never mind a full moon, lunar eclipse, blood moon in the middle of November, because what happens is this is like the purge of the earth, purging all the things out of the earth that, you know, sort of need to come up. All the nutrients need to come to the surface to get properly winterized so that everything will grow again. It's like nature resetting itself. And this is kind of happening in our bodies right now. So we do have to allow this. We do have to allow the rest. We do have to allow the purging to happen. So we're going to do a really cool meditation tonight to allow some of that purging to happen, as well as manifestation all at once. So it's going to be really nice. So this is kind of hello, Heather, welcome. This is kind of a redo. You know, it's like a movie. You get to have a little redo starting over from 18 years ago. So think about the things that have been maybe coming up that have maybe been a pattern before that could have even started or being seen again after this many years. Because in 18 years, it'll happen again. But do we really want to hang on to this shit for 18 more years is my question, right? We have a chance to kind of purge it. So this is a really big, it's a really big thing right now to be able to kind of let some of this stuff go. So the beautiful thing is that when we let some of this stuff go, our human character, our journey, our truth can come back to us, because we're starting to literally allow these things to move through us, and the opportunities are just abound. The opportunities are there. Sometimes we have a bit of a hard time seeing them, though. Sometimes it's hard to know what it is that really lights us up or really sort of makes us tick. So this exact time right now is a time that we are going to do a little bit of remote healing around the world. Because one of the things, Heather, I'm on a different device, so I can't throw you on mute, but if you don't mind muting yourself, there's lots of background noise because I'm hanging out at the arena tonight, so I apologize. Thank you. I apologize if it gets a little bit noisy down here. So taking this time to kind of connect with ourselves. But what's going on a universal level is rather chaotic as well. So cosmically, what's happening is, it's like with a lunar eclipse like this, the earth is sort of getting squeezed between the sun and the moon. So this basically squeezes out a whole lot of energy, and it can get a little chaotic in that where everything is sitting in different houses politically, it's a little chaotic. Like there's things that are going to be revealed, there's truths, there's all sorts of things that are coming up. Everybody's sort of rumbling about this energy that's going to be happening next week, because even on a earthly sort of plane, the disruption, this compression of energy often causes things like earthquakes and like some pretty crazy stuff to go on. So what we're going to do is a little quantum jumping. And now I don't know if you guys have done this before, but with a specific kind of breath work, and I'm going to teach this to you guys today. We're going to just dive on in and have some fun. With a specific kind of breath work, we can go to that space between, I can feel it already in between my hands. We can go into that space of energy where we can literally be beside someone or with someone, even though they're thousands of miles away. And so I'm going to ask you guys to do a little bit of, we call it channel breathing or cyclical breathing, where what we're going to do is we're going to almost imagine, so I've just got a couple more people hopping in here. I'm going to just give that beeping a moment to stop, hopefully. I feel so bad about all the background noise today. Hey, Tracy, welcome. It's awesome to see you all here tonight. So what I'm going to teach you is a little bit of a cycled breathing, that what it's going to do is it's going to help us expand our energy into the universe, and it's going to help us to actually physically take ourselves somewhere else in our energetic body. So it's going to be really cool. I'm thinking I might actually just go find a quieter place so that we can do this. So the way that we do this, and if you don't mind, Miss Tracy, I will have you throw yourself on mute, just because I'm on a...
Yeah, where do I do that from?
If it is on the bottom, if you kind of touch on the on your screen. Yeah, there it is.
Sorry, yeah, I see. I had to touch your name. Okay.
It's all good. I'm so glad to have you here. This is awesome. This is awesome. So I was just talking all about our eclipse season that we're having right now, and just kind of like the human experience that everybody's having. It's been pretty intense with purging things from the last 18 years. 18 years ago was the last time this was a big sort of cyclical change, where all of these patterns sort of came into place, and we kind of get a redo right now. We get a redo on everything that's been bubbling up and everything that's been coming up. What we get to do is we get to acknowledge it, and we get to accept it, and we get to release it, and we get to let it go. So we're going to do this in a meditation tonight. But first, I'm going to go through a little bit of a breathing exercise with you guys, just because it's a beautiful way to expand our energy into the rest of the world. And so I want you guys to imagine a place that you've been, a place that you've actually been in, where you know, whether it's around someone and it's just like a childhood home. But I want you to think a little bigger. I want you to think about a sacred spot. Perhaps if you live far away from your home when you were a child, there's a beautiful spot that you used to always go to, or there's a sacred place, or like you went to Machu Picchu, or you went to the Stonehenge, or you went to some kind of sacred place, or you were just, you know, it can be even in Mexico when you were at the pool bar and all you had to do was just nod at someone and Maria knew where you were just happy, where you were just peaceful, where a piece of your soul got enlightened, you know, where you even if it's just you went to Brandon and you had a really good day, you went, you know, a few hours away and just had an amazing time, or you're missing some family that's out somewhere that you can actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go visit there. We're going to tap into our breath, and we're going to expand into that place, and we're going to expand into the world. We're going to send a little bit of beautiful light and beautiful healing out to the earth's energy. And just on a global level, we're going to actually picture the earth, and we're going to just literally hold it in our energy and just expand some of that energy out there. And then I'm going to bring you guys on a beautiful journey where we are going to go and just on a little adventure. And we are going to do something of a twist on our normal blue mist meditation. And if you guys haven't done a blue mist meditation, you're in for a treat tonight. So I want you to basically get as comfortable as you can. And what I would like to say about this channel breathing, this cyclical breathing that we're going to do, is it's almost like you're bringing it into your body. We're going to be literally filling our whole body, and it's almost like you have this little energetic container that you're just going to be able to fill and fill and fill. And when we're inhaling, we're going to be picturing almost like a channel or a tube that runs through our body, right from our pelvis and our coccyx, right down into the earth. And it runs all the way up, and it goes all the way up out the top of our crown into the universe. And when we do this breathing, what it's like is imagining that it's a garden hose inside of our body, that, you know, if the hose is just running and you stick your thumb on top of it, you can spray your flowers like super far. What happens is when we do this sort of channeled breathing or this cyclical breathing, it brings it into a container in our body that allows movement to happen energetically on a whole different level. And we can actually dispense it and disperse it as far as you can possibly imagine. We can dispense it. We can literally collapse that space between us and others and literally be there with them. So I will get you guys to just sort of keep your back as straight as possible. Now, the one thing we can 2.0 this, we can intensify this a little bit by when we are breathing in, we can actually contract some of our muscles so that we can feel that pressure build, feel the energy move through our bodies a little bit. So by contracting our pelvic floor, it's almost like a basket. It's kind of, we call it the Mula Bandha. Depending on the yogic practice, there's a bunch of different sort of names for different positions and different ways to breathe, even the pranayama breathing. This will give you a really good basis on how to kind of move that energy through your body and really feel it as you're moving it. So when I'm asking you to inhale, I want you to imagine those muscles contracting, your shoulder blades kind of coming back a little bit, the shoulders kind of coming in. And when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that pelvic floor basket contracting a little bit and just holding all of the oxygen, holding all the energy, holding all the air as you breathe in, and it's going to fill your whole body. So I love to take like extra little sips almost, where it's like, just to fill up my whole body. You fill up, it's almost what we call side lungs. You're going to fill up your side lungs. You're going to fill up the top lobes of your lung, and you're going to breathe it out and expand it beyond your body. You're going to imagine it going up through your head and just out. As we release the breath, we're going to release it in all directions. So we're going to imagine as we breathe out that we have the air coming out of the top of our head, that we have it coming out of our ears, that we have it coming out of our shoulders, our hips, our pelvis, our feet. It's like when we exhale, the energy is going to disperse from us, almost like if you were watching a particle just dissolve as it just sort of expands into the universe. So we're just going to get started with that. So what I want you to do is, if you want to just keep a soft gaze, you can just kind of stare at something in the distance and just sort of listen to my voice guiding you with the breath. If you get confused or if you feel like it's too much, what I'd like you to do is just imagine focusing on that breath trying to fill your body as much as possible with everything sort of filling up into your head. And then just when you exhale, just imagine just relaxing everything as much as possible. And it doesn't have to be forced. It's like when you relax and exhale, it's like those particles are just going to start drifting off of you. And this is the energy expanding. A lot of times when we're trying to do energy healing, or when we're trying to sort of, your heart breaks for someone and you just wish you could be there, or you feel, that contraction, your heart breaks for someone that's close even, and you want to send them all your energy, send them all your love. This is a way to do it with your breath in an expansive way, that the breath is constantly filling, but it's constantly sort of expanding. So we're actually going to expand, and then we're going to anchor with that breath in, and then we're going to expand with the breath out, and then anchor with that breath in, just bringing it back into our bodies. So we'll just do a little exercise to just expand and do a little quantum jumping. So I want you guys to think about a sacred place, a beautiful place that you've been, a beautiful place that has a piece of your heart that you can go right now, or perhaps even someone that just needs a little extra love, someone that, like I have sponsor children. Like if you have if you sponsor a child in Africa, if you have, someone that you haven't seen for a long time with this whole COVID business. It's been 2-3 years for us since a lot of people have been able to be with family, or it can even be with someone that's passed. It doesn't need to be with someone that's here, but I want you to go to a sacred space where you feel happy, where you felt like there was a piece of your heart. And perhaps if there's someone that's there, or if you even want to go to a couple different places, you can also do that. But I want you to hold something that you want to visit in your heart. And just literally imagine them in your heart right now. And start to just focus on your breath. And I want you to notice your breath coming in through your nose. So just take a nice deep inhale. And just notice where that goes in your body. And now just exhaling. We're going to take a couple nice deep breaths just to get into this. And then I want you to start imagining that breath coming in and starting to fill the bottom half of your body, starting to fill that lower pelvis, that low back, that stomach, just noticing it start to come into that area as you're breathing in, bringing that air into that area. And now for your next breath in, I want you to imagine breathing in. And I want you to take a couple extra sips of breath and see how far you can pull it up. Can you pull it up to your heart? Filling the pelvis, filling the low back, filling the heart. Just imagine as if all of the air that's coming in was actually sparkly. Imagine that it's blue sparkles and it's starting to fill your body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you can feel those blue sparkles start to expand off of your body, almost like your skin is starting to dissolve and it's starting to expand and it's starting to reach out into the room that you're in. And imagine this breath now filling your whole body and keeping on filling. Bring it up a little further if you can. Imagine filling those top lobes of your lungs. Imagine filling your whole chest with that air. And when you're breathing out, I want you to relax your pelvic floor muscles. I want you to relax your shoulders. I want you to relax your body as much as possible as you imagine the dispersion of energy just expanding. It's not dissipating, it's expanding from your body. It's filling, it's creating, it's dissolving energy, but it's moving and it's just expanding. It's just creating more and more. Imagine with every breath in that you're being able to bring that breath up a little higher. Can you bring it up into your face? Can you bring it up to your nose or your forehead even, or your third eye? Bringing that breath in. Take a couple extra little sips. Expand it up into your head. And now imagine it dispersing all the way from the top of your head, starting to disperse off of your whole body in every direction. And now breathing in from every direction, I want you to imagine every pore of your body being able to draw in oxygen, to draw in this blue, misty, sparkly light. I want you to just imagine this blue light starting to just sparkle up all of your energy centers as you breathe in this beautiful blue sparkly light. And as you breathe out, you feel it expand from every cell of your body into the room, but into your whole house now. And just imagine that blue light expanding further and further into your house with every breath out. And as you breathe in, those blue sparkles are just filling every single cell and helping it to vibrate, helping it to light up, helping it to expand. And I want you to imagine breathing out and just expanding into the universe. And I want you to imagine that down from your pelvis, down as you exhale next time, I want you to imagine that air, that beautiful sparkly light expanding and going down out through your pelvis and grounding and anchoring you in. And I want you to bring into your mind this beautiful sacred space, these beautiful sacred people that just need some extra love right now, need some extra healing. And if your hands are getting hot or if you're feeling some heat coming from your body, I want you to just notice this. And I want you to even start playing with it a little bit, even move it around. Just notice that there's like a tension that's between your hands. And for a lot of people, as they do this breathing, they start to feel this heartbeat of the earth. And it runs about once every 4 beats. So it's literally like a boom. Boom. It's like this pulsation. Boom. Like I can feel a little pulse that comes from my hands. Boom. It's just beautiful. And if you don't feel it, that's okay. Just keep focusing on your breathing. I'm throwing a lot at you guys right now, especially for some that haven't done some of my crazy Friday night meditations. Just imagine this oxygen moving through your body as sparkles, breathing in the blue sparklies. And notice right now that you can see around this place. You're standing where you stood at one time. You're feeling the energy of this sacred space. You're feeling the energy of these people. And notice that it feels like you're with them, even though you're not. Perhaps it's just someone that you really miss that's not here anymore. Notice that you can still be with them. Notice that they've been coming up a lot in your mind. And just notice that they can actually hug you right now. We are jumping through time and space. I have the biggest goosebumps right now. Literally jumping through time and space. This is literally quantum jumping right to that space. Whatever space, it's different for everybody that's calling you, whatever person, whatever energy you need to just be in, to just fill this energy. And notice that this energy starts to light up even more as you breathe in, filling your whole body. Noticing if you get any tremors, any gurgles, any funny feelings in the body, any vibrations, any frequencies where it sounds like a TV just got turned on. If it makes you feel a certain way, notice the peace, notice the love. As you come into that emotion of love, as you come into that emotion of appreciation and that frequency of gratitude, of being in this energy right now, it might be swimming in the ocean where you were on holiday, where it was just so beyond beautiful. Just imagining that sacred place right now and going there in your mind, quantum jumping right to that space, being with those people, being in that energy. They're going to feel it right now. And just allowing that love to emanate from your body and allow that dispersion of the cells as you breathe in and out, just noticing that channel through the midline of your body, expanding out your crown and out your pelvis with every exhalation. And every time you inhale, I want you to imagine that energy flowing all the way through your body. And now imagining it like a wheel, just moving all the way from the bottom of your pelvis up to the top of your head and out every cell of your body, further than your house, further than your community. With every breath out, that is this expansion of cells is happening right to that beautiful place that's thousands of miles away. And imagining this dispersion of cells that's going across the world and just holding the whole globe right now in this beautiful energy of love, breathing together like this. holding this safe energy, holding this genuine capsule of love around the whole earth right now is changing the vibration on a communal level. And now that you're in this beautiful space, you can take a few just out of sync breaths. You can go back to just normal breathing, take a little break with that cyclical breathing. Noticing the coolness as the breath comes in your nose. Just imagining it filling your body as much as possible. And as you breathe out, just relaxing. I want you to imagine that your whole body is still blue sparkles. And right now you're going towards a pool of water. That pool of water is like this magic, mystical, sparkly pool. And inside the pool, you might even see a bit of a spirit guide. It might be a dolphin, it might be a fish, it might be an ascended master, it might be God, it might be whoever. It might be a spirit that's passed. There's a guide that's waiting to show you this beautiful portal to a tunnel that's down just a little bit closer to the middle of this pool. But I want you to step into the water and just notice that as you step, there's these little ripples that start to appear. And these ripples are just energy, because as you're stepping out, you can't actually step into the water. This blue sparkly mist is making you float just above the water pool. You can't get in that water. You're so buoyant, you're just floating down that path of least resistance. So much so that you can't go underwater. But what happens with that first step is that you can almost envision an oil slick behind your step that's just removing any darkness, any energies that have been hanging on, any patterns, anything that's not yours. It's like this beautiful misty water removes it from your whole body, like an oil slick that's just a vacuum that's drawing it out from your body in each step. And each step you take forward, if you're to look behind you, you can almost see these muddy footprints, these oil slick footprints that have just literally been sliding off your body. And I want you to look at your body, and I want you to imagine with your mind's eye that you're taking your hands and that you're wiping down your whole body, that you're actually getting that, like you're wiping grease off of your skin, like all this grease is just coming out and emanating from all your pores with this breath. It's just cleansed all of this dark, oily, greasy stuff that's just been under the skin surface. And I want you to just scrape it off. Almost like you have rubber scrapers on your hand, like squeegees, and you're just squeegeeing off your whole body. I want you to squeegee off your arms, and I want you to squeegee off your neck and your face and your head. Just imagine these big giant squeegees just coming down. As you take each step, it's like this fresh pool of oil slick that's just dissolving down into the water, into the mist. That mist is just taking it away. And once all this slick stuff has started to disperse from the body and dispense from the body and be scraped off and just left behind with every footprint in that misty water, I want you to notice the ripples starting to get bigger and clearer as you start to imagine some beautiful things that you love. It's like this is a manifestation pool, this blue mist, this portal, this door that you see. It's like it's bringing forth all these ideas, all these things you did about 18 years ago. What did you start? Did you start doing a form of art? Did you start singing a lot or dancing? Maybe you stopped dancing or singing. What are things that you did about 18 years ago? And I want you to just imagine the things that you're good at. I want you to think about, what are you just awesome at? What is your true gift? What are many of your true gifts? What is something you've always been known for, something people always came to you for. Maybe it was advice about this or that. Maybe it was your energy, your love. They just wanted to be in your presence. I want you to just imagine right now that you have these beautiful ideas just dropping into you. And with each one that you remember, I want you to see this expansive ripple happen across the water, literally creating this energy moving out to so many people, to so many times, to so much expansion. Your soul is recognizing some of these things that you used to do, that you want to do, that you know you're more than capable of. Just something fun. And I want you to imagine that you're getting closer and closer to this portal. You're getting lighter and lighter. You're floating along. And as you get closer, your guide is sort of ushering you into this tunnel. And this tunnel is magic. This tunnel is going to bring you to the land of plenty, where your truest and utmost desires are, all the things you've always wanted to manifest, but you maybe put them on hold for kids, for a job, for people, for things that got in the way, for school, for life, things that you put on hold. We're just gonna imagine that it's going to be almost like Christmas morning and we get to go in and open up all these gifts. So we're going to allow ourselves to surrender into this weird portal to the land of plenty. And as you get closer, you're just blue mist and you're just this beautiful creature that's just moving through in a shape and a form that's somewhat like you, but it's nothing but blue mist. And as you get closer to this tunnel, it's like this blue mist starts to light up even more. So imagine starting to get into the tunnel, touching it with your fingertips and feeling the zap of it lighting you up like a light bulb, like a big fluorescent light bulb goes on inside the sparkly mist, and you start to glow. And you start to get shot into this tunnel, almost like a vacuum where it's just pulling you. And you're just floating along and it's going faster and faster and faster. And all of your sparkles are catching up and it feels fun. And you feel like almost saying, wee. It's the most beautiful tunnel. It's lit up. It's just glowing and you have no idea where you're going or how you're getting there. But you're trusting that this is the path of least resistance that you've been looking for. And so as we go through this tunnel, it starts to climb at about a 45-degree angle. It's climbing up and it's climbing up. And your speed is increasing and your vibration is increasing until all of a sudden you get to the end of this tunnel where there's almost like a wide opening and you can feel all the energy contracting as you get spat out into the most beautiful field that you have ever imagined. And as you land in this field, you start to transpose back into your human form. And all of a sudden, you find yourself reaching this most beautiful ground, this most beautiful field, where there's nothing but flowers, there's nothing but beauty, there's nothing but everything you have ever wanted in this land of plenty. And I want you to just take a moment to look around at the things that you might see, the people that may be in this beautiful land of plenty, where everything you've ever manifested is there waiting for you. Everything you've ever wanted, all of the things that would make you happy, whether it's full abundance, whether it's travel, whether it's your beautiful RV that you see parked on a mountainside, or maybe a lakefront, or maybe it's your cabin that you've been seeing in your dreams. Maybe it's the ease of not having to get up and race out of bed and just having this comfy little house that you have. Maybe that's just perfect for you. But I want you to know right now that this is the truth. This is your soul's true journey, is to be able to be in the vibration of love and gratitude, to be in the vibration of simply responding, not reacting, the things that we may have reacted to before, some of these things that happened 18 years ago where we had a reaction. Imagine if we had taken that reaction and turned it into a breathe and respond from the frequency of love. If we breathe and respond from the frequency of love right now, the frequency of appreciation and gratitude of how far we've already come, knowing that this contraction, that these breakdowns have in fact been breakthroughs. What are you breaking through to? What is this divine life that is waiting for you? We're meant to be happy. We're meant to be in joy. We're meant to be in love. And we're meant to be in gratitude. And I want you to just feel those emotions right now. Just invoking those frequencies of love and gratitude. What do you just love? Do you love to dance? Do you love to do yoga? Do you love going for walks? Do you love animals? Do you love being around people? Do you love making art? Are we doing those things? This eclipse is the time to see that. We've known it all. We know all the things we want. What are we ready to do? And I want you to just ask right now for either a symbol or a word or an aha moment, a realization of what is it that you need to do to just be living in this vibration of love, in this frequency of appreciation. What are you so grateful for right now? Having family members that are healthy, being healthy yourself, having your health. So many people are sick right now. Just be grateful of how healthy your body is, how it resets itself every night, how it doesn't even have to think about it, how you don't have to think about it. Being thankful that you can move energy, that you can weave these new webs, these new stories, you can write this new chapter. What would your ideal life look like? Just noticing the things. It doesn't have to be specific. How do you want to feel generally? What does that look like? What does that person look like that's just in love, in feeling love for everything, for everyone, taking that breath, responding with love for yourself, taking that breath in the morning before you go anywhere, before you do anything, taking that breath in the morning, honoring yourself, honoring what your needs are, taking in the water you need, taking in the nourishment you need, every moment of every day, doing breathing exercises where you're expanding. And as you ground yourself into the beautiful expansion of the things that you really love, those people that may be around, those things you may be doing, have you always wanted to just write a book? Have you always wanted to just learn how to write songs? Have you always wanted to learn how to just play guitar or do qigong? Or have you always just wanted to take a new course? What are those things that your soul is asking for that we're not paying attention to, that we're pushing down by being busy, by running out of time? And I want you to just now take a couple more nice deep breaths in and just notice that breath moving up to your top of your lungs, moving up to your head. And I want you to imagine shooting that breath out of your head right now, like a thumb on the garden hose. Imagine it spraying energy as far as it can, watering all these flowers around you and noticing those seeds that you've planted up to 18 years ago. What seeds have you been planting? Planting seeds. We're planting seeds every spring, every summer. What seeds have you planted that you can now see in this beautiful field that we're growing all this time? But we couldn't slow down enough to actually stop and smell the flowers. What kind of flowers did you grow? What kind of seeds did you plant? Way back then. This is your chance for the redo. This is your chance to find these flowers, these 4-leaf clovers that are just starting to pop up all over the place. And taking that breath in, and as you breathe out, expand, allow that to shoot like a channel out of the top of your head and just disperse among the whole earth, recoating you in these beautiful sparkles, expanding your energy to the rest of the world, and receiving energy, breathing in, receiving from every direction, breathing in this communal love, and breathing out that communal love. And I'm going to leave you in this space. And when you're ready, you can just open your eyes. You can come on back. And I apologize for the noise that just got a little out of control there. I hope you guys were able to hear me okay with all the noise in the background. Oh, that felt really good. That felt really good. And next week, we're going to do a full moon ritual, a full moon meditation, and truly let things go. We're going to use some fire energy. So I encourage you guys for next week. My body's releasing now. So when I say my body's releasing, it's like I get these like little burps come up. You guys might even notice that. I always notice when I'm coaching people as we're talking through things, they're like you just, it's like these little burps are sort of bubbling up to be released from the body. So notice the things that happen in your body. Even when we were at first noticing that energy was really strong, some of you might have even noticed we get like a little heart flutter. It feels like your high heart sort of flutters a little bit. Or I get like when it's a strong yes, I get this like knock in my stomach, almost like when you're pregnant, you get the baby kind of tapping from the inside. It feels pretty wild, but it's almost as though it's like getting a heck yes from the universe. It's like, yeah, that feels really good. So I am going to stop the recording, and I think if I can. Oops. I just noticed we lost poor Samara and you were stuck in the waiting room. I'm so sorry about that, Samara. I was just turning off recording. There we go.